Hello, everyone, and welcome to Toku Portal Podcast. I am Ryan. With me is
Drago.
welcome to Power Rangers Beast Morphers, Episode 7. Uh, so something occurred to me while I was watching this episode. Uh, Last week's episode, the villains didn't get any Morphex at all, did they?
No.
And they don't steal any this episode either.
Yeah, because they already have a lot.
Right. Like, they did that, big heist a couple of episodes ago, so they have some in reserves, but they're gonna need to get some more soon because they don't have any income right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright. So the episode opens up with the Rangers interacting with their beast bots, and for one reason or another, they all kind of get annoyed with them. Like uh, Cruz is late to pick up Devin, or Ravi goes to spar with Smash, and Smash is like hitting him too lightly, or Jax just straight up didn't buy the office supplies Zoe asked him to.
I have nothing to comment on this.
It really gets the message across, like, hey, this is going to be an episode about these characters that we haven't really seen much of.
Yeah, I'm glad they actually are doing a episode on Beastbot, and it was a pretty good episode in my opinion.
Uh, Blaze and Roxy make a uh, Robotron to steal data from the Beast Bots so they can learn how the Megazord works. Uh, so they throw a bunch of like grunts out for the Rangers to fight, while the actual like Robotron sneaks around to do that, and he hits Smash and Cruz, but gets interrupted when he goes to Jax. And as a result, Smash and Cruz have completely lost their unique personalities.
And the Rangers couldn't be more happier because the Rangers are terrible people this episode.
Yeah, they're like they're suffering from the problem where like they're treating the Beast Bots like machines. Like they're treating them no different than like your phone. Like it has its purpose and it should work to that purpose. Whereas Nate designed them with their personalities and quirks to make them more human.
Yeah, and it's actually I one thing that I had to point out is because I feel that this is an episode that did the Rangers compared to last episode, this episode was believable in why they were bad people, because
Right.
they in last episode it felt a bit too sudden. In here they actually it fit with their personality, uh with and it also the fact that yeah, it's like it's how they treat the beast bot is also considerably like how anybody else would treat a robot. Like you would expect the robot to
Yeah.
function like you want and not have like a will of its own,
But
and that is and that was a pretty interesting way to make like have flaws in rangers and have rangers be bad people, but at the same time not be a too out of character.
right, like this did Devin well. Like when Cruz is late, Devin's like, "Hey, did you take that shortcut?" And Cruz starts to explain himself why not. And Devin's like, "You know what? I don't care. Let's just get going." Uh,
And you could also see that Ravi is a bit too self confident, and that's the reason why he wanted Smash to punch him
right,
hard in the.
right. Like
Uh,
Smash is throwing these like light punches that like can easily be blocked, and if they don't hit very hard. And Ravi is wondering like, why are you holding back so much? Like, at least try to hurt me a little bit here, so it feels more serious.
yeah, and yeah, and I also like to be honest, I also like the choreography. Like when Ravi and Devin were sparring, it felt like a spar, not like a serious fight, but the choreography was still good.
Yeah, like you could tell Smash was holding back, and you could tell like, hey, if he was being serious and he did those things, like we would actually have a fight here.
Yeah, even with what happens later. Yep.
Yeah. Uh, so Smash and Cruz are basically act just straight up machines now that will obey orders the way Devin and Ravi say they want. So they take them out for a test drive. Devin literally goes out for a ride on Cruz because he can turn to a motorcycle, and tries to take that shortcut, uh, and which leads into like a path of low hanging trees that Devin has to like duck through. And when they come out, like he is nothing but covered in mud, and is like, "What the hell? That was the worst shortcut ever." And Cruz is just like, "You told me to take it." like, and it's completely emotionless too. He's just confirming that like I was following your instructions.
Yeah, and also the fact that like when Devin was suggesting, like, well, on the motorcycle, he was suggesting something to stop or to slow down, but one wasn't giving a direct command, and that's the reason why it didn't stop. Which was and it makes sense to actually, that shows why you need the Beast Bot to have what do you call it, like, emotions and
Right.
empathy, and like to be act like human,
Like,
because it is more receptive to indirect commands.
like Ravi goes to try sparring with Smash again, and uh, I didn't hear him say this, but I guess he like offhandedly says like, don't wait until I'm ready this time, just like go for it." And so Smash just decks him in the gut as hard as he can and sends Ravi flying across the room. And Ravi goes,
Yeah.
"What the hell?" And Smash goes, "You told me not to wait."
But yeah, that made me laugh for like a minute straight, because that was hilarious.
It's like if you're fighting an actual Robotron, you that wouldn't have taken you by surprise, Ravi. Like that is entirely on you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh shit.
Meanwhile, Zoe is looking for a tablet and asks Jax where he put it. And Jax is still has his personality. He's still fine. And says, "Oh, I left it charging in Nate's lab." And Zoe says, "Well, I just looked in there and it wasn't there." And Jax goes, "Well, it's not in this room." Because he's totally not hiding a surprise party in that room. So over at Nate's lab, Devin and Ravi are complaining to Nate about the Robotrons, and Nate is justifiably confused. Like, they're you're so
Not Robotrons.
uh, beast
Beast
bots.
bots.
Uh, so they did what you told them to do, and you're mad about that. Yes, and that is their fault. Yes.
But yeah, this entire exchange between like Jackson and Zoe and then Nate and the two Rangers was seriously it was funny, in my opinion. Like, we didn't need like a comic relief characters, because the comedy came from like the cast itself,
Right.
which I really enjoyed in this episode.
Uh,
And also the fact that Nate still proves to be the best person around in this entire in his entire battle force.
right. Like Nate has his comment of uh, how Devin and Ravi are taking their buddies for granted, and how he would love to have his own.
Yeah, seems like a setup, to be honest.
Yeah, like considering like he is a viable candidate for Beatbuster, so like that is an easy like if that's what happens, that's an easy like foreshadowing thing.
Yeah, and then considering like they have been setting this up for about him having a B spot for the B spot for the past past I think since episode 3.
Like, and like 2 episodes ago, we straight up, or yeah, 2 episodes ago, we straight up saw him like he had Jay's head. He was like in the middle of building it,
And yeah, and I mean Scrozzle stole the head, but again,
and that
let's see what they are
yeah,
gonna do with
like
that.
we like that still doesn't mean anything. Uh, while Devin and Ravi are complaining about their B spots, Zoe comes in and complains about how Jax, is pretty careless and wonders if she would be better off without him sometimes. And Jax had followed her to the room and overheard that, and he like moves her jacket aside to reveal her tablet charging exactly where he said it would be. And it was entirely her fault that she didn't see it because she put her jacket over it.
E- and I think the best part about this was the voice acting of Jax, because the it could convey the emotions even having the voice like that, and
Right.
the emotion it conveyed, like it was very good.
Like he sounds hurt. He's a robot.
Yeah, there's nothing much to talk
Yeah.
about, to be honest. This
Right.
episode is pretty straightforward.
Zoe follows him to the other room to apologize to him and finds the surprise party that no one saw coming. Uh, yeah, the B spots were like setting it up as like a thank you to the Rangers for all the hard work and life risking stunts they pull. Uh,
Yeah, and
no, go on.
I feel like we are forgetting something.
Uh, are
Oh
we?
wait, right. The training exercise where Nate reveals the Beast Blasters has hologram technology.
Oh, I forgot that happened. Sorry, it didn't seem that significant. Maybe it will later. Uh, Speaking of Nate, though, he comes into the room like having figured out why Blaze stole that information from Cruz and Smash. Like, oh hey, he's after the Megazord data, which means he still needs Jax's information. So Jax volunteers to be live bait to lure out the Robotron. Oh, the Rangers used the hologram projectors to disguise themselves as crates. It was relevant.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
well,
but I love. Wait, I'm just saying. I just have to say I love Jax this episode. He's literally my favorite Beast bot now. Right?
okay, right. Like so far, Jax is the best one. Uh, oh, sorry. So, they fight the Robotron. They make short work of it, honestly. I think this is the first time Scrozzle doesn't get out the Gigadrone until after the Robotron is destroyed.
I think it's because the Robotron, by the time the Robotron was so quickly destroyed, I think that's the reason why the Giga Drone came a bit later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Considering the yeah. So yeah, this is new. I like seeing the Megazord again.
Yeah.
It was pretty neat to finally see the Megazord for the past 2 episodes. But to be honest, I prefer the action in the Megazord action when it was Red Rangers, Racer Zord, not Racer Zord, yeah, Racer Zord alone compared to the full Megazord, because the full Megazord is too bulky and doesn't move well.
I'm just generally a fan of seeing the individual mechs fight by themselves before coming together, because it helps show that those mechs. It helps justify mechs are individual. Like, yeah, they can still stand their own ground, and also they can combine into one giant thing. Otherwise, why not just have the one giant Megazord rather than the individual ones?
because they can only sell one toy. But if you have multiple, then you can sell five
Yeah,
or three.
I know that the actual answer is toy sales uh, because live man, but seeing this series in particular, like seeing those mechs operate individually, like it's great because it justifies why they exist individually.
Yeah, and this was something I liked in Go Busters as well. Because even in the previous first 7 episodes of Go Busters, like they did show like how the individual mechs operate, and also the fact that in Beast Morphers and in Go Busters, mechs have all other utilities as well. Like how in Go Busters they were actually taking cars and other things, and we're here they're clearing out the debris, and that I really appreciate. Like Megazord having more of a purpose than just fight the giant robot.
So the Rangers go back to the base and they changed the party room banner to a thank you for their beast bots. Like, hey, you guys are actually great friends, and we were kind of jerks to you. Uh, and then Ben and Betty jump out of the cake.
And yeah, okay. The one thing I really find it funny is that what are the Beast Bot gonna even do in the party? Because they can't eat.
They dance?
Wait, yeah, they can. Because
I feel like
you
Jax
can
could pull off some sick moves.
pretty much. Jack's the most leanest one, and I think Smash and Crew is also good. But
Uh, Jax is actually the least mobile because he's basically R2D2. He could like spin around though.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Uh,
uh,
uh. Meanwhile, in the cyber dimension, Scrozzle has been building a cyber transporter thing. He's building some kind of Stargate thing to like so that Evox can materialize or some shit.
yeah, and he is doing something.
Yeah.
Next episode.
So, yeah, overall there wasn't a whole lot to say about this one because it's just so straightforward this time.
Pretty much, and I think like they kind of compared to the previous episode, I think this one was kind of what do you call it? Better at like how I said it before, like it was better at portraying like the Rangers as like
Yeah.
negative characteristics of Rangers, but without being too out of character, which I appreciated. And but only one problem I had is that the monster of the week was too punny.
I wasn't even paying attention to him really.
Yeah, so
Sorry, go on.
oh no, that's the thing. And I also like the smaller robots that he had when like he turned into a Megazord. Oh, so not Megazord. That's Go Buses. I mean Gigadrone.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that. Like, all right, we're starting to get multiple out at a time now.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool like how they are ramping up. Like every episode is ramping up the stakes, in my opinion.
Well, like I think my favorite part of this episode was that Jax really did leave the tablet charging in Nate's lab, like he said, and Zoe actually was yelling and complaining about him for no reason, and was super wrong about it. Like that was a neat twist.
Yeah, and also and that was it. Just that entire scene was very well done, in my opinion. Like the way it was shot and directed was I know it's standard TV, but like it was still nice to see that shot done very well, because sometimes people just miss the mark, like to show like other people are sad. What it just comes off a melodramatic, but here since it's Power Rangers, I think it works better. For some, I don't know, it's just because there's no like drama like how regular TV shows have, or it's just because it's Power Rangers. I think, but the shot worked very well with the robot and the people.
So that's it for this episode. We're gonna talk about the next episode preview a bit. So spoilers for that, like for real spoilers. So now's your chance to drop out.
Three, two.
Okay, so in the next episode preview, we see that like Scrozzle is clearly trying to he's like finished building Jay, and he's clearly trying to use that as like a host body for Evox, which I kind of thought that might be. I think I like even said last episode like, hey, that's a possibility for something you could do. It's like it's neat that they're actually going through with that because that justifies why Jay's body is finished being built. Uh, you have any thoughts about that? Okay. So getting into the real topic of discussion is that uh, Nate like interrupts the transfer process himself and accidentally becomes the new Power Ranger.
Yeah. We expected this,
Yeah.
but
So
it was pretty nice. It's pretty nice to finally see it.
so yeah, they did a good job of foreshadowing Nate as the new Ranger because like I for quite a few episodes now I've been saying like, hey, it could easily be him. Hey, what if it's Nate? Hey, that sounds like a hint that it might be Nate.
Yeah, and also, it's always good when the sixth ranger is someone who has always been in the show.
Right. Like
Like in Ninja Storm, there was Cam. In Dino Thunder, it was Trent.
uh
And when when Kruger transformed into Shadow Ranger, it was pretty cool. Like it's whenever it's a character that has already been established in the show and has been there since episode 1 or 2,
and
it's
it's all
always good to see.
yeah, and it's
Okay.
always meaningful for them to have wanted to be a ranger. Like here Nate wants a more fulfilling sense of purpose and with like uh Cam in Ninja Storms, like he wanted to be a Power Ranger. Like the only reason he couldn't be was that he wasn't allowed to be a ninja because his mom or something. I don't know. But then they're like, all right, we'll make you a samurai instead.
Yeah. The Okay. One thing I always like have. It's always funny when like Shuri Kenjo became a samurai in the American one, but it's just that what do you call it? I mean, the jacket and sword does give a samurai feel, but whenever he goes to Super Samurai mode, that should have been in ninja mode.
Right. It's like you took the most ninja character on the show and made him a samurai instead.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't finished Hurricane Joe yet, but from what I've seen of Shuri Kenjo in what do you call it, in not Samurai, sorry, in Hurricane Joe, he is the most ninja character and is more akin to like the character in Ninja Storm called Cybercam, as far as personality goes.
Uh,
I'm really like Hurricane Joe.
I haven't actually seen Hurricane.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's pretty good.
I might get to the shout subs at some point because those are probably happening soon.
Yeah, they are.
Uh,
But back to
you're
the
right.
old Ranger thing.
So here's the thing about uh, uh, Jin and Jay in Go Busters. They are Beat Buster and Stag Buster. They are a beetle and a stag beetle. They are that kind of duo that Toei loves to do all the time. And here in Beast Morphers, Nate says the praying mantis DNA worked.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like a praying
He
mantis.
doesn't look like a praying mantis. Like the horn is clearly a beetle.
I'm like, I'm still wondering what's the problem with a beetle.
What
Is
do, you,
it because
do they have a problem with the beetle?
no, I'm just talking about why did they have to change that? Is it because like you
Yeah.
can't have two beetles in the same, what do you call it?
Toei begs to differ.
Yeah, I know, but like I mean, are they thinking that American kids won't buy the like two of the same toys or something? Because
uh,
Beat and Stagbuster are both beetles.
going back to Ninja Storm, Crimson and Navy.
Oh yeah, but again, that is Disney. This is Hasbro.
Yeah, that was a different studio.
Yeah, and a different toy. What do you call it? Toy company as well.
I don't know, like, but the toys only look the same in the sense that they're from the same Power Rangers show.
Fair enough.
Like, I don't
But
understand. Like, they don't. Do they think that they can only have one Beetle theme? Like, do they not think kids know the difference between a beetle and a stag beetle?
maybe I think it's the latter, or maybe like it's the thing about the toy. The toy of the Megazord does not look like a beetle, and they want to make it a Mantis Zord or something.
Uh, Maybe because like this would be a good like minor education thing. Like, hey, there are two different types of beetles. Like that's something to introduce.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't
Uh,
know. Maybe they'll explain better in the episode. Like the reason why he's a beetle is because the pea spot or something. Oh
um,
wait.
what?
Okay. I'm sorry for anybody. I'm sorry for the spoilers. I potential spoilers that I might give. It's just me theory crafting for based on this scene. In the second episode, we learned that what do you call it? What I forgot the name of the Beast Bot. They
Yeah.
had all the DNAs of the DNA or like cheetah DNA and everything else running through their veins.
The machines did.
Yeah, the machine have animal DNA running through them as well.
I don't remember that, but okay.
Okay, so basically, I'm just wondering. Okay, like I heard some of the toy stuff, and I'm wondering if the Beat Buster. Wait, Beat Buster the robot, right?
I'm trying to like look up a picture of their.
Okay, let's just say BJ Stack. Like the guy, the new Beast Bot is probably gonna. I'm wondering. I think he might have human DNA because Nate interfered like that. Maybe like Snape's DNA is starting to flow through him instead, and that's gonna be pretty neat because from from what I've heard in the toys, it says that the one of the sound is I'm half robot, half human.
Huh. Okay, that's an interesting thought. Like,
Yeah, and
mm, like, mm, what? Okay, so like Okay. So here, okay, so Nate, like the Stargate gets turned on, and they're like trying to throw Evox into Jay's body, right? Which is just an empty
Yeah,
shell right now, and Nate literally like jumps into it. I don't know why, and he instead gets hit with Mantis DNA and becomes Beatbuster. What if? So what if Jay gets hit with Nate's DNA?
yeah, that is very probable. I think that's what's gonna happen. Like that is actually like pretty cool. Like a non-human, what do you call it? A ranger turning in being, instead of having any animal DNA or something like that, them having human DNA.
Okay, so that would be a neat twist for his character.
Yeah,
This still doesn't explain why they changed the beetle theme to a mantis, but
I mean, though I was just wondering, what if they have a human sword? uh, I mean, a non-human ranger having a human sword would be pretty funny.
like so uh Beatbuster's mech is a crane machine, and Stagbuster's is a jet. And
Oh. Okay.
sending you a picture of their personal Megazord.
Oh, looks good. I was gonna ask. Okay. I can't remember it well. Did the Beat and Stag Buster have an animal mode of their swords?
In animal mode.
Yeah. Like
Um,
how they can, how each of the other swords can turn into rabbit, gorilla, and cheetah, but can they turn into any other animal? I forgot
uh,
completely.
sort of.
Okay.
So
Are
here's
they
a pic.
beetles?
Here's a picture.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense why they had mantis.
Uh,
Okay, it makes total sense why they call it a mantis sword.
uh, so yeah, I guess I can kind of see it. Uh, it's supposed to be a rhinoceros beetle,
Yeah, but it doesn't look like one because how long the crane is.
right? This doesn't change the fact that Nate's ranger suit itself doesn't look like a praying mantis.
Yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, this is pretty nice development. I can't wait for the next episode.
This would Jay having human DNA would explain like why he operates on his own rather than the two of them operating together like the other Rangers do with their mechs.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think it will be pretty cool to, like, what do you call it? Uh, have the okay, before the hiatus sets in. Uh, have the Gold Ranger and Silver Ranger show up. I just hope the hiatus isn't long.
Uh, oof. Yeah, hopefully like a short 3 months.
Yeah, and and it's 26 today. I'm probably gonna go watch Endgame.
Uh, it's only 4:25 for me. There's a few places doing a midnight premiere, but
Uh,
none I can get to. I don't
For
know. Sorry, go on.
oh yeah, you watching it today or you're gonna watch it like a bit later?
I'm probably gonna be watching Endgame. Probably next week. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to catch a premiere weekend showing.
Beware spoilers.
Yeah.
The one the most
Like, okay.
okay, I was
It,
gonna say the serious shit is that on YouTube, they have already started posting all the spoilers and everything else. So just
Well, I don't
don't go to
follow.
YouTube.
I don't follow anything on YouTube that would spoil Avengers for me. And if the Twitter spoilers are the same as they were for the last Avengers movie, then the worst that I'm gonna get spoiled on is the equivalent of "I don't feel so good,"
Yeah.
which out of context because and no because it was just a bunch of memes of random characters from different shows doing that and such that I didn't even know what who the original character that came from was. So there were two things that were technically spoilers that I didn't have enough context for, and it was that and Squidward.
uh, I just okay. Yeah. So we are done with this episode.
So, thanks for joining us today, everybody. We'll be back next Tuesday for more Ryu Soldier, Wednesday for more Kamen Rider Zeo, and Thursday for more Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Uh, we might be back this Saturday for the Rider Time specials. We still have to see about that. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.